All right. Right.
Hey there, hey. I'm Annette, here from Word on the Curve podcast tonight. And tonight, we're going to have just a bit of a discussion, but more than anything else, I want you to know, as happens yearly, we're changing our format to interviews when and where possible. And when not, we'll just have single shots of short podcasts. But the absolute goal is to interview. And so tonight's podcast is simple. Word on the curve. Every room has a temperature, even before you enter it. I know you guys saw me sit down. The bottom half is messy, but that's what we do when we have face shots on the camera. Tea, green tea tonight, allergies as usual. Moisturize your feet, hands, and face. I just moisturized my hands and mind your business. That's the way this works. But here we go. There's a lot of chitter chatter everywhere, and folks are jumping in, arguing, insulting, but at least they're having some dialogue. You don't have to agree, but at least they're having some dialogue, right? I wish they'd have more dialogue about the issues that impact us and affect our lives in a big way. Like when it comes, excuse me, when it comes time to voting, you don't have these conversations then. We get mired and mucked down in nonsense all year long. And then when something comes along that people don't agree with, they want to argue and talk about how we need to be focus on those things all year long instead of the nonsense that you do. But neither here nor there. I'm Annette here from Word on the Curve podcast. For those of you who are coming back, welcome back this evening. We have 3 points we want to make tonight. Simple points, because what we tolerate and what we excuse and ignore quietly becomes the standard. That's right, 3 points. Image speaks before we do. That's right. The image speaks before we do. People form opinions long before explanations show up. Excuse me. How you look, move, and carry yourself sends a message immediately. And so I think a good example was simply this: you cannot be a fireman and wear a dog catcher's uniform or outfit and expect people not to be confused. They're going to be confused when you mix the message. And it appears that over several issues in the last year or so, the message has been mixed about who we are, what our standards are, what we'll accept and what we won't accept. And so, image speaks for itself, right? Someone walks into a meeting late, unprepared, and casual, very casual about it, right? We're talking about appearances. We're talking about how images influence. That's what we're talking about tonight, right? And nobody waits for their ideas. Credibility is already gone. Resolution for that is decide what message you want to send before you enter the room. Because once you enter the room, the temperature's already set. So I've learned not to let my image speak against my intentions because I know what my intentions are. What we accept becomes the standard Silence is not neutral. It is not. A lot of people believe that I'm just going to stay out of it. But silence isn't neutral. It just simply says that you're not prepared to stand up for what you believe for fear of offending somebody. Now, don't be offended. It'll be all right as long as you don't mistreat them or disrespect them. It'll be okay, right? Bad behavior keeps happening in a workplace, for example. Oh, I can attest to that. Family or community because nobody checks it. Eventually, people stop being shocked and start adjusting to the bad behavior. That's just what's happening around us right now for more than a year. We're starting to adjust. Well, yeah, way more than a year. We've been adjusting to bad behavior. We accept mixed messages and we don't speak up about them for fear of offending. We accept conflict because we don't want to offend people. Stand up for yourself. I can't tell you how important that is. And don't be afraid to talk about, what you believe and who you are. That's your character. That's your character, right? Call things what they are. Standards don't reset themselves. They don't. Standards won't reset all by itself. They will not. I will not normalize what I know is out of order when I know what I know. I won't normalize it. We talk about normalizing things, but those are positive things, not mixed messages, not conflict, not temperatures entering the room at 1000.6 degrees. Everybody sweats in that room. Influence dies when consistency disappears. Let me say that again. Influence dies when consistency disappears. So you might get a little pop and glitter in the beginning, but eventually you continue the bad behavior, you continue the mixed messages and the conflict. Your influence is going to die along with your image. That goes for all of us. This is not any one person. This is the reality of life for all of us, right? People follow patterns, not personalities. So you have to determine what it is you're okay with in terms of patterns where it involves you, right? What are your patterns? Are you looking for publicity? Are you stunting? Are you trying to send the image that you're a professional? Are you trying to send the image that you are a firefighter? Are you trying to send the image that you don't know what you're doing? What are we doing out here? I think we're sending some mixed messages. And as long as we normalize it, it eventually, this is my allergies, I apologize, becoming the norm. As long as we accept it, eventually it becomes the norm. Someone talks big about leadership, faith, values, or excellence, but the behavior doesn't reflect that. People get confused. And over time, people stop listening. I know some of y'all don't believe that, but that's a reality. People stop listening, you know. So you have to let your actions protect your name. If it matters to you now, if it doesn't matter, and you're one of the folks who'll say, I don't care what people think, have at it. But when people stop listening and your leadership starts to wane, don't blame anybody else but yourself. I work hard on living in a way that makes my words believable. I don't shift with the wind. I'm rooted on the ground, 10 toes down. And doesn't always mean I'm right. But when I believe in something, I'm going to stand up for it. And you should too. So here are some examples that you can all understand and relate to. At least I could. A parent lowers expectations and wonders why respect disappears. You lower the expectations with your children. And then when they start to disrespect you, you don't understand that. Your image is your influence. And once you send mixed messages and you confuse people, the disrespect is going to start to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. You put yourself out there, you get what your hand calls for. That's for all of us. That doesn't apply to any one or two or three or four people. It doesn't apply to just teachers or doctors or lawyers or Indian chiefs or pastors. It applies to all of us. Send a mixed message. You're going to confuse people. Your image is going to start to deteriorate. You're going to lose the audience. They're going to stop listening. That happens a lot. That's one of the reasons why you see so many shifts in different circles. Pick that up on your way home. A business ignores presentation and loses customers. How you treat your customers matter. How you treat your audience matters. When you think that you're right in everything you do, you lose your people. You absolutely lose them. You have to listen. A community tolerates dysfunction and then complains about the outcome. You let people come in your neighborhood, drop trash. You won't report them because you don't want to snitch. And your neighborhood looks like a trash bin. Don't complain about it. You live there. Don't expect the government to handle the business that you should be handling yourself. I'm going to clean up in front of my door. And my mother taught us to sweep on both sides of the sidewalk. That means whatever was connected to her house on either side had to be swept up. I resented that then because I had to do it, but I came to appreciate it as an adult. Same lesson every time. What you allow is the temperature in the room, in the neighborhood, in the pulpit, in the classroom, in your home, in the courtroom. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, image is not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Be intentional with your image, especially if you are in a position of influence or leadership. Be intentional about it. It's about standards. If your environment feels out of control, ask yourself this: what have I accepted that taught people this was okay? Because image does not lie. Image does not lie, right? What you present is what you see. And the temperature in the room is there long before anybody speaks or tries to explain it. The temperature's already been set. It was set long before you walked in the room. Hey, my name is Annette, here from Word on the Curve. Your image is your influence. If you want to confuse people, send mixed messages. And then when they respond and they battle with you, telling them to mind their own business doesn't mean a thing. Get your message right. Have a good night. See you next week.